It's easy to feel small and unimportant in a place like this. Every day, more than 300,000 people pass through Milan's central station. All of them have stories to tell. But none more compelling than desperately fleeing a war zone with your loved ones and whatever you can carry.
هذه حياتي أنا، هذه حياتي. شيل شنط، شيل شنط. هذه حياتي.
لما انتوا هتكونوا عايزين تركبوا بكره هتيجوا هنا. تمام. هيجي او قبلها ب10 دقايق ربع ساعه وانتوا واقفين هون هيكتب الرصيف.
عشان اعرف انهي قطاع الرصيف.
Standing here, you might not even notice this historic exodus from south to north. For over a year now, volunteers, coordinated by local government, have helped the refugees who arrive every day in search of safety and security.
Can I ask you where you're from and where you're going?
We are from Syria. We're going to London.
To London?
Yes.
Isn't it difficult to get to London?
Yes, too hard.
You want to go to Germany?
Inshallah, inshallah, or Sweden.
This woman arrived alone with her 2 children.
I want to stay here where I will go.
Where do you want to go?
Any country I can be like a human, like finally be a human, be myself.
These men, women and children have all been driven here by 3 years of fighting in Syria.
War, real war. Boom, 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 boom. Libya, Italia. أنا الحمد لله إني قاعد ناكل. الحمد لله ولاني توا ممكن فيش ياكل أنا. السمك قاعد ياكل فيا.
Just a few days ago, most of these refugees were crammed onto small boats, crossing the open sea, afraid they might not make it to Europe at all.
It was frightening?
Yes. Big fish. I scared. Maybe they come to eat us.
For would-be migrants, the journey from Africa to Europe can be terrifying, but the distance is surprisingly short. This tiny speck, Lampedusa, is closer to North Africa, but is actually part of Italy. Right now, the weather here is perfect for a holiday, and for the people smugglers in Libya. For years, Lampedusa has been a magnet for thousands of migrants seeking a new life. But small boats and inflatables crammed with people are a death trap. This chilling footage, shot by the Libyan Coast Guard, was first broadcast by Vice News in March.
طبعا فيها أطفال منهم، فيها أطفال، في نساء، في ناس عزز. أنت مرات تأسف تبكي العين وأنت تشبح. أنا حضرت مولود ولد في مركب. تم انقاذه والمولود معانا.
Libya's been torn apart by civil war, and it's become the main gateway to Europe for those willing to risk death to get there. The world finally paid attention to this unfolding tragedy, and hundreds died right on Europe's doorstep.
At least 88 people have died after a boat capsized and caught fire off the Italian island of Lampedusa.
It's now expected that the final number killed in yesterday's migrant boat tragedy could reach 350. As the body count rises, so too the number of questions. not least what can be done to prevent...
ኣብ ባና ገለት ልችሳት ናይ ላምፓዱዛ ገለ ንሪኦ ጀሚርና ነርና ብርሑቕ ገለ በቃ እቲና ኢና ገለሉ ትኩሉ ሰብ ገለ ተሓጒሱ ገለ መለ በቃ ምሻለካ
Nathaniel is one of the lucky survivors from that doomed boat. He's from Eritrea, where government repression has forced tens of thousands to flee. He's safe in Sweden now, but he remembers diving into the water after the boat caught fire and the hell that followed.
الحمدلله بتامركب تطوي مسمصاو دارغا دوز حسب او تتحيزو ويبلو ገለመለም ጽንሁን በቃ ማራሰ ሚዳ ሐጂ ታይገር ዳርት ድሞተ ድምጽ ጥፊኡ ወላ ተኩሉ ጫውጫውታ ገለ ጸጥይሉ በሐንሳብ ባይጽንህን
The tragedy that day traumatized more than just the refugees. As they dropped their nets offshore, these Lampedusa fishermen had no idea of the horror unfolding on the sinking ship, just a few kilometres away.
Il giorno dell'incidente era come oggi, così, bello, giorno bellissimo. Poi a un certo punto, un orario verso le 10 di mattina, abbiamo sentito che cerca un aiuto, che ci hanno chiamato, subito abbiamo tirato sulle reti e siamo corsi sul luogo dell'incidente.
The Coast Guard was already pulling survivors out of the water, but needed help locating the sunken ship. Without ever wanting to, fishermen like Francesco Licciardi have always ended up on the front line of the migration crisis.
Quando siamo arrivati sul luogo dove siamo adesso, abbiamo trovato una scia di gasolio e abbiamo trovato il relitto. Ci ha portato sul punto preciso.
This is the sunken vessel filmed by Italian authorities.
Allora, diciamo che in quel momento provavo soltanto rabbia perché non potevo dare aiuto di nessun genere. E vedevo soltanto sti indumenti in galla, che qualche boetta, qualche cosa. Si pensa tutto, diciamo, tutto il tratto nave che loro hanno fatto, come se l'abbiano passato. E poi arrivati neanche a 1,5 miglia, 2 miglia dall'isola, così quasi salvi dalla vita, e invece sono arrivati qua e sono morti.
The disaster claimed more than 350 lives. Lampedusa was no stranger to tragedy, but not on this scale, says the island's mayor, Giussi Nicolini.
Fondamentale, dal 3 ottobre in poi niente ed è stato più come prima, né per il Mediterraneo, né per i migranti, né per l'Europa, a maggior ragione per Lampedusa.
Italy stepped up, launching Mare Nostrum, a search and rescue operation by its Navy and Air Force. With its stirring soundtrack, this promotional video proudly showcases their role in plucking more than 130,000 migrants from the sea in a single year. But Mare Nostrum ended late last year, the Italian government saying it could no longer foot the bill. The EU began its own rescue mission, but with only a third of the resources. Not surprisingly, another tragedy soon struck, on an unprecedented scale.
Frantic search is going on right now in the Mediterranean Sea after a boat capsized.
Only 28 survivors have been found so far, according to Italian officials, and just 24 bodies. But today, the search continues.
It was the worst shipping disaster in the Mediterranean since World War II. Almost 900 drowned and only 28 survived. I went to look for them. They ended up at this reception centre in Sicily. The migrants here are well looked after and receive expert medical care. I asked the woman in charge of the Red Cross clinic, Dr. Simone Migliore, about the condition of the survivors.
Molto tristi, molti di loro non avevano neanche desiderio di parlare, di raccontarci. Solo un ragazzo di nazionalità ghanese mi disse: eravamo in 100 partiti del mio stesso stato e sono rimasto solo. Aver sentito questo mi ha veramente colpito.
3 of the survivors did agree to talk to me. And because asylum seekers here are free to come and go, I met them in the neighbouring hill town, picturesque Mineo. They've never told their story before, and because they're seeking asylum, they don't want to show their faces. It may take years to have their claims processed, but right now they're still dealing with the trauma of the sinking.
Around 10 in the night, we have a collision with a big ship.
In this small bar off the main square, the young men tell me how a merchant ship trying to rescue them collided with their boat.
Our boat started going down. I removed my shirt and my trouser, everything, and go out. That time I'm thinking whether I will die or not. People are shouting, Allahu Akbar. People are, come and help me, help me, help me. Everywhere, people are shouting. I have a lot of friends, more than 15 people. They all die, only me escape. Only me. Every day I'm thinking about my friends, every day.
Si continui ad assistere a queste morti come se non riguardasse nessuno di noi e anzi a volte sembra che queste morti siano volute, cioè sia il modo per farne arrivare di meno. Lasciamo tutto così ne arrivano di meno, vivi, ed è veramente insopportabile.
If they want to stop this crossing, they need to bring peace in Libya. If they have peace in Libya, this crossing will stop.
Today, the mayor of Lampedusa is hosting a visit by the Polish and Estonian ambassadors. They support the EU's controversial response to the catastrophe, which includes a proposal to destroy people smuggler boats. Despite the smiles, Mayor Giussi Nicolini doesn't agree with a military solution.
Questa uscita mi ha sconvolto, mi sembra un'idea completamente folle e oltretutto inutile.
As the ambassadors tour Lampedusa's port, there are many unanswered questions. Europe's expanded its rescue mission, which means less people drown, although just last week over 200 perished off the Libyan coast. But who will take the thousands of refugees that arrive? Europe rejected a proposal for compulsory quotas, and the Italians are furious. I flew out of Lampedusa with the Polish ambassador and was left in no doubt about why many Europeans reject quotas.
We are considering quotas is not a good solution because, you know, we don't have tradition of presence of people coming, especially communities coming from Asia, Africa, and it could be quite difficult in the cultural sense to reserve a welcome to these people.
At the railway station in Milan, ordinary Italians embrace the opportunity to welcome the refugees. But their government has a mixed record when it comes to integrating migrants, according to volunteer Riad.
They won't be helped in Italy as much as Sweden. In Sweden, they care about every single thing until the father and the mother get a job. In Italy, the problem, they help you for 1 year. After this year, they don't care if you found a job or no. They don't care if you have money or no. After 1 year, everything should be finished.
You're on your own?
Yeah, go to the street.
Every day, the fate of the refugees arriving here, whether they end up in a Danish flat or a German squat or stuck in Italy, hangs in the balance. It rests on countless small moments of chance. Fatima is a Syrian refugee travelling with her young son. But she missed her train to Germany this morning after 1,500 euros was stolen from her purse. Her ticket can't be rebooked.
What's wrong?
Oh, I feel guilty for them.
Guilty? Why?
I made for them the tickets yesterday, and they lost the train.
The volunteers spring into action, quickly texting their group to raise money for tickets. But then Fatima's family has also come to the rescue.
What is the latest news?
She's going to receive 800 euros from the family. They will send her by Western Union.
How do you feel?
I am very fine. Alhamdulillah.
This job is very emotional and it makes you go crazy.
Yes, it's a sort of drugs. When you arrive here, you can never go away. You want to stay here and help everybody.
Carlotta Dazzi has been coming here to help several days a week for over a year.
How do you feel when you hear people in the EU say we should not have quotas for refugees?
They only talk, and everywhere, every time that a boat capsizes and hundreds of people died, they wake up and say, oh, we have a problem, we have to do something. For a month they talk and then again, nothing.
I want to come in legal way. I don't want to be in danger, me and my family. I want to come in legal way. We go to the embassy, they don't accept us. They force us to do this, to sell everything we have, to pay money to the people take us and bring us here in dangerous way. They make that for us. If they help us, this will not happen.
Refugees feel forced to take matters into their own hands.
بس احنا بنقول كمان ان ايه ما توصلوا ميونخ طبعا تقطعوا التذاكر عشان ايه ما يعرفوش ان انتوا جايين من ايطاليا.
For those trying to leave Italy, it means destroying any evidence that they were here, so they can't be sent back.
نكبهم فين بالمحطة ولا قبل ما ننزل؟ لا بالمحطة. هلا الألمان إذا شافوا قبل ما ننزل.
لما تنزلوا قطعوا ارموا في الزبالة أي حاجة.
Some of the refugees head to a shelter for the night before continuing their journey the next day.
Goodbye.
Goodbye, my friend. Bye-bye. Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I went to say goodbye to 3 of the men I'd met. This will be the next chapter in their epic journey from Syria, travelling from Milan to France. That's if they don't get turned back at the border. And then, hopefully, on to London, their final destination.
I don't sleep very well. I sleep only 2 hours. I speak with my family yesterday and then I told him I'm going to Nice and I will have maybe dangerous trouble or something like they say. Inshallah we'll be safe.
Thank you, Allah. Good luck.
Thank you, Amos.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Meanwhile, I also head further north to meet up with an Eritrean refugee who's completed his journey. Peaceful Sweden is about as far away from Eritrea as you could imagine. And this is now home for Nathaniel, who survived the 2013 sinking off Lampedusa. Nathaniel's luckier than some of the survivors. His claim for asylum has been accepted and he's been given housing and Swedish lessons. He has Eritrean friends here. In fact, it's a tight-knit community. But he's still haunted by memories of watching people drown.
تذكرها كل ጊዜ أنا هجا حسبي كل ጊዜ بزعبو تذكر لقاس أبي كاغلمله.
And like many who sacrifice so much to reach Europe, he asks himself an uncomfortable question.
أبز خمان هجمتي خاطري خلا حسب أنا سابزنا خمت لي زخول شجرات حليفة قليل كي بقى تحسبنا أنا هم يتحسب هجي ورق حسب 16 5 حلف كهيوتات تدقات ما كشجرات قليل ريحس زخول شجرات هيوتي دقات من السابزنا مبصحي قليل هجي مرة حسب تحسب يهان